Danny DeVito's recent appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live started off as a fun and nostalgic segment that had fans excited across the globe. Known for his quirky humor and larger-than-life personality, DeVito was welcomed with loud applause as he took the stage ready to discuss his latest projects and life in Hollywood. The energy in the studio was high as Jimmy joked about DeVito's iconic roles from Taxi to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and even touched on his work in films like Batman Returns. The audience was all smiles as DeVito gave his usual witty and playful responses, with his classic grin lighting up the room. Things took a strange turn when Jimmy brought up an offhand comment DeVito had made in a recent podcast interview about the current state of Hollywood and certain A-list celebrities. According to DeVito, he didn't name names, but made some pointed remarks that had stirred up some minor controversy online. Kimmel pressed DeVito about who the comments were directed at and jokingly accused him of throwing shade at the younger generation of actors. DeVito chuckled at first, but then became noticeably annoyed when Kimmel wouldn't drop the subject despite attempts to move on to another topic. Jimmy pushed harder, reading out tweets and reactions from fans and celebrities that had speculated about the targets of DeVito's remarks and framed the situation as though DeVito had stirred drama intentionally. DeVito then told Jimmy flat out that his words had been twisted and blown out of proportion. The tension thickened as DeVito criticized the media culture that thrives on misquotes and viral sound bites, arguing that it devalues real conversations. He said he wasn't there to defend himself against clickbait, but to talk about his craft and connect with fans. Jimmy responded that it was all part of the entertainment game and claimed the audience loves drama as much as the jokes, but DeVito wasn't laughing anymore. He leaned forward and told Jimmy he didn't appreciate being set up for a viral moment instead of being respected for his decades-long career. The audience grew quieter as the atmosphere became more uncomfortable. Kimmel tried to recover by throwing in a lighthearted joke, but DeVito wasn't having it. He called out the show for caring more about shock value than honest dialogue and said, if that's what late night has become, maybe it's time to walk away from it. The studio was silent as DeVito took off his mic and stood up, telling Jimmy he didn't want to be part of a circus act just to get a few laughs and trending hashtags. Jimmy tried to salvage the moment, but DeVito had already turned and began walking off. Stage producers scrambled behind the scenes while Jimmy attempted to move on to the next segment, awkwardly transitioning with a forced smile. The audience applauded out of confusion more than support as the camera panned away from the now empty guest chair. Social media immediately lit up with clips of the confrontation and walk-off going viral within minutes. Fans flooded comment sections with support for DeVito, while others debated whether the actor had overreacted or whether Kimmel had crossed a line. News outlets picked up the story, calling it one of the most unexpected and dramatic moments in recent talk show history. DeVito trended worldwide as people dissected every moment of the heated conversation frame by frame. Later that evening, DeVito posted a short message online saying, "Respect matters even in comedy, especially when you've earned it." Fans rallied behind him, praising his class and calling out the show's handling of the interview as disrespectful and sensationalist. Jimmy Kimmel Live did not issue a formal apology, but insiders claim there were serious discussions about how far is too far when trying to create viral content at the expense of guests and their reputations. What started as a seemingly routine interview ended up becoming a viral moment that reignited conversations about the boundaries of humor in media, the expectations placed on celebrities, and the price of chasing shock value in late-night television.